Orry is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just very slappable, actually.
See, that's okay. I understand your anger because you're thinking MBA नहीं किया बहनचोद फिर भी उसको इतना पैसा क्यों मिलता है?
And he's
But he charges 12 lakhs to say hello to you or something.
Appeared out of nowhere, right? He just...
I don't even know if you can biologically say he came from humanity because it's a little, let's say, different.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it turns out to be like Epstein at the end.
I thought his name was sorry, and like in French you don't say
SS capital.
S is quiet, so it became Orry.
Would you guys be good spies?
I'd be the best, except for one problem. I'd be good in the 80s. So I can't handle technology. So we were James Bond who can't start the car, you know. Go battery ka bench. Then the villains reached. Yeah, that's the only problem. But 80s would have been fantastic.
80s would have been.
Yeah. Very excited to have them back. Two of the finest comedians the world has ever produced. The great Puneet Pania. After Dhruv Rathee, the most wanted comedian by the government. But Dhruv is safe because he's in Germany. You're in Kandivli.
Yeah,
which is very close to Germany. You're part of the Euro. But sadly, you know, you have to be careful.
Are these real cameras?
These are, no, one is a dummy.
Achha.
Because one of us is a dummy. Make that correct. And we've got, after a long time, young Manohar is back here with us. Yeah. The palm reader.
Happy to be
the
here.
Writer.
Yes.
Now writing is your main thing.
Writing and stand-up, both, yeah. Trying to make stand-up my main thing.
But your money's coming from writing.
Writing only, yeah.
Wow.
Enough money to stay in Bandra and come in shorts. No,
that's because he owns 48 restaurants. We've discussed this 200 times.
Yeah.
Parivar ka jo paisa hai, I mean, we can't even count it. People are calling in the comedies Adani. I don't know what that means, but you know, for some reason this is what I hear.
By the way, I came a little late, so I heard of a new policy that you have to give 50 rupees if you're late, right? So
nice
I'm
segue.
just putting this
Lovely.
Nice.
Right.
Array.
50 rupees.
So we do have a host on the show then.
I'm just thinking 50 rupees is basically our day rate on this show. So one of us will go home happy. So now that was beautifully done by one of our great anchors. Cyrus is now going to explain the story about it's a MNC or a startup.
It's a startup where the founder instituted a new rule where if you're late, you have to give 200 rupees.
And then his wife and he was panicking because he was not in town for 6 months. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the story.
And then he put it out on Twitter. Of course, he was the one to boast about it, being like, I was late.
He put it out first. This is the policy.
No, he put it out that I had this policy and I was late
Yeah.
and I'm giving 1,000 rupees. But in the screenshot of the transaction, he's sending 1,000 rupees to himself, to his own account. So, I don't know. I feel if you're faking it,
On
at least
principle,
get it
I'm
right.
happy. He's done the
in
right
his
thing.
defense, he is a Guju, so...
That's also fair. Coming from Kandivli, you're also basically a Guju now. Whatever Sindhi was left in you is gone forever.
Practically, yeah.
But I think that you're becoming very nitpicky. The fact that he was able to accept his blame and say, I was the guy who himself did it.
You're falling for it. He has scammed you and you have been scammed.
So he paid himself. That's the second part of it. But then he owns the company. So who does he pay? Like if the money was to go as a fine, who does it go to?
Right.
When it's a simple startup and not quite an MNC and there are no real partners and no equity being shared, where does the money go? So it goes back to him. I accept this. Let me talk to my Gujarati friend. So chaos dikra? Yeah, I chal se.
If he's buying khakra from it, it's fine.
I'm sure he did at some point. But it wasn't very heavy, the fine, no? $200.
Yeah.
So not so
But I'm sure the salaries also are not that heavy, considering he's a Guju. So
what is Guju bashing on a show? Stop this. Most of my sponsors
Minute one.
Guju.
He's punching up. No?
It's not really punching up, Baba.
They own the whole country.
Well, 240 seats. Now that you must bring it up.
All my friends across the country are saying all...
Telugu Desam is not Guju, technically.
But the contracts are going to Gujus only. Even in Ayodhya. So
That's true. But Ayodhya not, now you want to segue to politics for a second, not giving the vote to our center, was that, I mean, that was uncalled for. Unheard of.
Poverty in the end has
that's the beauty.
Yeah.
So there is a certain secularism in the country that nobody cares if they're not earning money and the food is not on the table. It doesn't matter.
yeah, if you're destroying people's houses,
Yeah. No, their livelihood.
Livelihood
Because
as
they changed, the whole landscape of that area was changed for the
Right.
birthright and all this.
Right.
And which is okay, but except for the fact that those people, let's not call them hawkers, but people living in the area lost all their
Right.
mobility, social
Yeah.
mobility in a sense. They couldn't do anything.
And even smaller temples were raised down for the bigger one.
But there's greater good, no? It's that you take out the small road for the bigger road. You take down the house and you put the street. The greater good is a very good law in society. Puneet, you coming from Kandivali have not understood greater good. There's no such phrase there. It's just whoever gets off the platform first.
So there's a journalist, Kunal Purohit, he's put it very well. He said just because they voted against the BJP doesn't mean the poor people are now suddenly secular.
Right.
Yeah.
And they started
But
loving
we are
Muslims.
romantics. We are romantics. Yeah.
He says for a few days you can celebrate, but the reality is that the distress was that bad.
I just want to say, I don't know if we should really be celebrating. Like, I was celebrating on the day
You
the
go back to
results.
Ayodhya?
Yeah, the results came out, but like many people who know more, like Anand Teltumde.
May I
go
just
for it.
interrupt? It's really funny to see Rahul Gandhi celebrating when they lost.
Yeah.
Technically, you did well and you came back, a good fight and all that. Sorry, yeah.
But Anand Teltumde wrote this piece for The Wire where he was talking about how a broken tyrant, a tyrant who's losing, is actually way more dangerous than a tyrant who is in
Who may be
power.
more benevolent because he affords to be magnanimous.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Indira Gandhi, whatever, all the shit that happened with Indira Gandhi,
She
that-
showed both sides, huh?
Was on the way down.
but that happened, yeah, when she was losing her vote share, when she was losing her popularity. And we have seen that already. Arundhati Roy and like 2 other academics from Kashmir, they were...
Being, accused. No, there's a court order against them now.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the timing is...
Immediate.
Immediate,
Yeah.
of course.
But I don't know, they would have gone after them anyway, I think. Those things really irritate the
But
center.
Arundhati's been around forever, so...
And this
But
piece
the English
also
is
was
very
from 10 years
highfalutin.
ago.
That upsets a lot of people. People can't understand what she's saying in her
Yeah.
speeches and her books.
I also have a theory for why he lost Ayodhya. A few days
Who's he?
before Modi.
Oh.
Like BJP.
I thought you
by
remember the
BJP.
name of the member of parliament who's standing in Ayodhya,
No,
which
no.
you just dismiss as not important.
He with the capital H.
It's not correct because there's one gentleman fighting that particular battle. Huh?
I mean, if they are saying that Modi is fighting everywhere, Modi lost everywhere also, right?
His name is Lallu, by the
How
way.
does
the
this guy
who-
go back to Nagpur? Look at
I
his,
don't-
his
I
views are more strong than yours.
If you're rich, you're above the law and the politics.
But he's rich, but he's on the rest of the family is on one side. He's the only one who wipes the tikka off and then enters. It's very embarrassing for him. Tu kya karte beech mein? Don't phone your family.
I'm showing you guys a text from my parents, like about this only.
Yes, am I lying? I'm
You are
not
not.
lying. No?
You are not.
You're a house divided, right? Or
Yes,
not?
yes.
And what
Thursday, 13th June, my mom texts, no joke on the national anthem, please. I said yes. Mom says, you don't have any other subjects?
Yes means yes, you will make a joke.
It's unclear. I'm just saying yes. I hear you. Yes,
Okay,
I hear
okay,
you.
ठीक है,
Dad says not only anthem, but also no jokes on nation. Very, very bad. Keep
They
respect.
don't know their son.
They don't
Now they're telling him.
They just got Instagram. I
Wait,
think.
go on.
Very, very bad. Keep respect of our Bharat. Mom says, it seems you want to destroy your career. Dad says, not only career, but everything. Mom says, you're forcing us to worry. I know you will crack a joke on our concern. We are both very worried for Meghnath first and now for you also.
Meghnath का कोई chance
Are
नहीं
they
है.
still talking to Meghnath even?
Meghnath's travel agent met me. He's going to Germany. They've got a house near Dhruv and he's going to be living there. Yeah.
Oh, Meghnath has got his own IT cell now. Do you know that?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's about time. And Meghnath's got all these young girls coming on. I think his whole thing is he's not anti-center. He just wants to meet women. So he's got this great idea. He has these girls that come on and discuss with him. They parody the conversations, interviews, reactions of various members.
I know why you are watching his podcast now for sure.
I was like girls. What do you think? Who cares about the government, yaar? It's all about the ladies. Tell your mom that she'll be happy. My son molester, not traitor. Molester or traitor, which is worse?
But speaking of the government, Adani is got a contract in
Nicely
Bhutan.
done. I get the joke. Just because you didn't react immediately, but nicely done. Yeah.
Adani, this is good news actually because it means that all the Indian resources are exploited already, so no more exploitation.
Time to attack the rest.
Yes.
And you start with the neighbors.
Yeah. I mean, and it's very benevolent because you could have just bought the country instead.
Don't do stand up in Bhutan. Huh? They're lovely people, but they're very proud of their. Be very careful. bro.
They don't need. I've been there. They're so happy.
Yeah?
They don't need stand
Yeah.
up.
You should make them unsmile. They'll be like, don't come here with your Indian problems. Yeah.
Do you think the worse the situation gets in the country, people will want stand up more,
Yeah.
or they?
That's the theory.
See, but look at it this way. If you go back to thousands of years ago and all the way down, Soviet Union, anywhere, the satirists are very important, right, for society. Forget, the stand-up is just a medium change and
Right,
it became
right,
this.
yeah.
But you always, that's the voice. And you do it in a funny way, satire, so that you don't get killed or whatever. And then you move things around.
More than us, it is other so-called satirists on Twitter and online who
Yeah, the unknown soldiers.
Yeah.
Who pass comments immediately, yeah.
Yeah, and who create content also, and you
Yeah.
see how much they are growing because the need is there, and we are not doing it because
But
we
they
are
are growing because they are unknown. When you're unknown, you can grow peacefully. That's
Right.
why I told you guys, don't come out and do shows in Spotlight. Why can't you turn your back and do the show? His mom and dad will be so happy if we just call him Manohar. No first name. पता नहीं वो तो common नाम में नागपुर में 50% लोग मनोहर ही होगा.
he could be Mr. Bharat actually. Just
Or
to rub
Bharat
it-
Mister.
Bharat
Because Mr. Bharat sounds like bodybuilding competition and Shreyas' legs are worse than mine. I don't want that.
But you know the thing is that this fear it has gone forward beyond the government also into other institutions. I recorded a stand-up video at like a place
Sabha?
recently.
No, you set it up. I thought he boss right there. He's the speaker. I was like, and now I want to introduce Shreyas.
I recorded a video. It was a political bit. They refused to give me
Where?
half of my footage. I can't say that.
Come on, say that.
I can't say that.
Like on a private channel.
No. A comedy club, like a comedy place.
But it's a public, just a show, no? Not on a broadcast channel.
Not on the broadcast channel.
Then what is the
Public
problem?
show. And I wanted a recording to upload it.
The venue, no, they can't run away. No, it's a physical space, so they come.
Because also, I mean,
Do they really go for the venue?
because venues get...
Habitat right here.
It has been
There's
ransacked.
no
quite
parking.
a
That
few
was the
times.
reason. We all went bizarre here. And so, हम लोग तो town से आते हैं.
No, but to be fair, the people who come to ransack, they come by train.
Yeah. So they're not really into comedy.
Do you guys know about train cruising in Bombay?
Where you check out.
It's a thing where there are certain dabbas that are reserved that, like, I mean, so if you are a gay guy, you'll go there to basically get hand jobs and give hand jobs.
One sec. Why?
And there are forums.
Is this true?
Luggage compartment, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the king of the trains or queen, whatever his preferences. But he's the guy. Boss, 50% stand-up is on trains, or the catalyst is the train from which the stand-up
Yeah,
comes.
I never heard of this.
What are you doing?
This is some wire. I
You're
think.
watching OTT programs. Look around. Your hand job available.
This is a
what
urban
about
legend.
hand job? What about hand job? Listen, Goldspot, thumbs up, Limka, hand job. Is that what happens?
That's, I think, precisely.
Naveen's
that's how
early
it
career.
happens.
We don't know.
So you go
Study
anytime
years.
in that compartment, there's a guy there who'll give you a
No,
hand.
there are
what
multiple
he's saying.
people there. So, of course, there are also people who don't know that this is happening and they're
Yes.
just gotten up on the
Yes.
spot.
You really don't know.
Yeah.
But I found that to be insane and
Did
it's
you
been
take-
going on for years.
Have you witnessed it yourself?
I haven't
personally?
witnessed it myself. I've just read articles.
Would you be interested in just going and checking it out?
Not really.
Not in those
Not
shots for sure.
I can't believe he wants a hand job, but he'll read your palm. Is it after or before? So, haan de do. Rumal. Now, your future is looking very bright. Man, that's terrible, that thing you do. How come your parents don't object about the damn palmistry rubbish, which is all lies?
No, they like it. No, it is indigenous culture is being promoted.
Oh,
Of
the
Bharat.
it's a part of our Sanskrit.
No, they
Yeah.
actually think that I'm insulting the craft.
The craft. Oh.
Yeah, see, they are learned Indians. So then you're being, you're looking down on art forms. So you do bad singing, it's the Carnatic vocals, you're looking down. It's like that.
But see, my argument is that am I more of a scam than palm readers who are like, I am real? Because I'm saying I'm fake.
Yeah.
We know you're a satirist. You don't know explain what it
I'm
means.
just
Understood.
putting it out
Yeah.
there.
The very fact that you choose either hand and all that, we should tell you.
By the way, have you ever slept next to someone who was snoring in life?
Always. Like
How-
so many experiences.
How do you combat it?
Males.
Yeah, how do you combat it?
You can't. That's why I don't share the room. In theatre, they would put 4-5 of us in the room at the same time. I had people, all noises coming from all orifices, coughing, snoring. Was no sleep, yeah. Terrible. No sleep.
So there's no
You have to
solution.
get out of there. I've slept in the lobby. And we used to go to cheap 2-star hotels and
Yeah.
just in the little small spaces, took the pillow and slept on the floor. But I couldn't take the
Yes,
sound.
yeah,
I just, after 20 times of trying to wake them up, balls.
And you try to find the music in it. You're like, there's a
There's no
rhythm. Let me
music
see.
in it.
You can't.
It's like torture. Anyone who's been through it, because it never ends.
Right.
And the worst part is it does stop for a second.
Yes.
You think it's
Yes,
over.
yes,
And then it's like Jaws, just when you thought it was safe to go in the water.
It's
it comes
louder,
back.
it's louder.
Oh, God. And worst part is my good friend Vijay Konarkar, now they bring it up, he never knows he's snoring. So, Konarkar, wake up, he's snoring. Huh? You're snoring? I'm not snoring. And then immediately. That's terrible. So what do you do?
I'm staying with a friend right now who is
It's more
snoring
male
right
thing.
now.
Stay with females, they tend to be better with
Tend
the
to
snoring.
be, yeah.
I've never seen a female snore. I don't know what that is, but
You've never slept with a woman?
I have, but they haven't. I mean, I haven't. Sorry,
You're
my
using your
family's
palms
watching.
still for everything. Phew. Huh.
I was told that you have to push them over. That sort
Women?
of no, the
No,
men.
so that whole thing is that they should be on their back and all that is all bull because they'll always come. You can't stop it. You can't control their position. We will stay up all night like a watchman doing wicket keeping. What is he saying here? You can't.
I tried it. First of all, I couldn't move him because he was a little heavy, so I couldn't even get the whole thing
Abbas.
there.
Oh.
And then I managed to get like half a turn. He started snoring louder, 3x louder.
Yeah. Bro, I get your pain. People who share rooms will know this.
And sharing a bed apparently. So
Yeah, but it depends on it's a majboori, it's not sex, yaar. You always think in India it's about sex, it's nothing sex. We have 1.4 billion because of helplessness. We are helpless, right? Am I right?
Correct.
A person is getting laid because there's no other place. You had to get
There is a
laid.
machine, a CPAP machine that you.
But that's expensive.
It's expensive.
I don't know how much it is, but not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, that friend is staying with me because he can't afford like a hotel. So he can't get that
No, but
mask.
otherwise we would do it. No? If we could, it's just $500, we'd all just buy the damn
Yeah.
thing and keep it for the person who's giving you trouble. Or just keep it as a freelance option.
Right.
Whoever spends the
In
night
case.
here, if it's a fucking idiot, just put this on.
Yeah.
The worst part is how they think they don't snore. I don't know if you guys ever had this conversation. He's falling asleep, he might snore.
I think.
Did you ever, every was in a hostel?
Nah. Always,
All in Bombay.
always been.
So you never
Bombay, sir.
shared with men?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
You're lucky, huh, boss? You've never had the experience of
No,
sharing.
I'm not lucky because this means I don't have stand-up material that works in India.
Yeah, superb stand-up material. Really. Now that you should do this. Forget this. Call your mom. She'll be so happy. अभी पूरा commitment snoring के ऊपर है और कुछ नहीं.
1 hour on snoring, great.
And just at the end he says, but the BJP promised free oxygen masks. Yeah. But what happens when you go back home for some function, somebody's wedding, shedding and all, where the whole family meets? And now you're getting fame as this comic and
Yeah.
everybody knows
I mean,
your...
firstly, they are not watching
No,
all
but
of
the
my
word
stuff.
Word gets around. They don't need to watch. Word gets around and then they start bitching about the kid. No? See,
Yeah.
इसमें क्या खराबी है and all that. Those words to that effect.
They bring it up. I
But
try
Dimag-
to have discussions which shouldn't turn into arguments.
Yeah.
Because it's everyone has come out for dinner. I don't want it to be like fuck you,
This
fuck
is
you.
a good way to get out of arranged marriage also.
Also,
Because
Maharashtra
now you're
government-
the black sheep. So.
Very good. It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, really.
But I think that's why they want you to be arranged married because they're like इसको line पे लाते हैं. ये थोड़ा भटक गया है.
In case he brings some wrong community home, this guy is capable.
I think that they would like it. It will be reverse love jihad. No? So
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you took one for the team.
Yeah. Or what would they? Would they prefer him being gay or being left wing? That's a good question.
Tough one. I think in their mind it's the same thing.
They would think that if you're left wing, you're gay. That's a fair point. Yeah.
I get asked once every year, by the way, by my family.
If you're gay, why? Because you're not. How old are you now, Shreyas?
29.
I can accept it. Because at that age, the parents will start going through the. It's not going to happen. What's
Yeah.
wrong?
They're like, do you have a
what's wrong with
biological-
us? Why isn't our son getting
What they
married?
ask is, do you have a biological problem? That's their
Oh,
way
he's
of
so
asking
sweet.
it.
Yeah, sophistication. Right? You never ask anybody. So beautiful.
Hidden homophobia.
No, but that's lovely. You can't call them out.
Right.
The biological problem can be anything. You can say, yeah, dad,
Bukhar hai, yeah, I have
I
a
need a
fever.
pill, whatever. You know what I mean?
I have vitamin D deficiency.
But your biological problem is a frame woman doesn't stay. Or that you snore.
But that brings us to another story of a business tycoon family, the Hindujas. Similar
your
to
Sindhi
the-
cousins.
Yeah.
But what did they do wrong? Every rich Indian family that's gone abroad that I know, take people from the gaon, imprison them in the place, pay them 10 rupees,
Yeah.
and tell them what a life.
Name them, shame them. Which family?
But you won't know them, Agarwal, this, that. And the people I've grown up with, they've all taken the help, if you like.
I mean,
from-
just because everyone's doing it doesn't make it.
But they don't.
right.
But
There's
it's
so
the
many
most
cases in
Indian
America.
thing to do.
Most Indian thing to do. Ask
yeah,
them.
to exploit poor people.
Exploit poor
Yeah.
people, and it's not occurred to them it's wrong. Please understand, they actually think
Ki
they're
we are
you
giving them
better-
a good life,
I'm
we are
taking you
bringing
to
them
fucking
here.
Switzerland, Baba.
Yeah.
You're coming from some Gao. You're not educated.
Yeah.
You're earning what? It's hot here. It's sweaty, muggy. The metro will never be made. The stand-up comedy scene is not for you. So you go to Switzerland. Then the sad part is they can see the Alps and all, but they can't go anywhere.
Right.
Because it's like house arrest.
And their passport is also taken.
Also, where will they go? Will they go to the bars and hang out with the French-speaking Swiss? Or, I mean,
If you pay them well enough, maybe they might.
See, the passport scam is also that they're looking after you. So the patriarch of the family
Come
says,
on.
मैं रखता हूँ for your. It's like I'm doing the देखभाल of all the people. And
This is the whole Dubai trick.
yeah, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying.
But
this
you're
has
saying
been
that's
going on.
that's how they portray it.
This is not just Hindujas. Now, Hindujas are a huge family, very rich, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The
But the
funny part
medium
is
rich
why
people...
do they need to do it of all people? They're so rich.
Because-
They're third
Because
generation.
I have seen...
It's culture.
In my school, a very, very rich family ka jo mommy, I remember as we were driving back in the bus, and I get off at that bus stop, I saw her fighting in Marathi, I won't take names, with the Falwala. And I remember telling my friend Vikram, but because they were at that point 1,000 crore plus family, and he's fighting for like 18 rupiya, 16 rupiya ke upar main nahi dengi paisa and all that. And like anger, real anger,
Wow.
exploitation. For $1-2 she fought. And I learned my lesson that day. It's not about the money, whether you're Adani or Padani. It's not about the money.
principle.
The principle is that I will not pay more. I'm Indian. I'm Indian. And so they go to Switzerland and prove, as Yash Chopra did in many films, that Switzerland is part of India.
But it
See your
sounds
movies.
very fishy because they've been there for generations in Switzerland itself
Yeah.
doing business. Maybe they had a fallout with some authorities and now some.
No, 100%. There's a mole or something which has caused this.
Yeah.
But it must be open knowledge that these guys look after their, in this way, look after their menial staff. And I mean, if 1/10 of the low salary, what's it called? The basic salary.
Yeah,
if it's
1/10.
$10 an hour, they're getting $1.
Wow.
One
Yeah, they're
thing-
being paid in INR, no?
Yeah.
And
And
okay, I'm saying okay, that whatever, but what is the rate? Just
Right.
do the dollar rate.
Right.
Or the euro rate.
Right.
And the rate is ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that they don't really leave that area because socially, even if they can go, where will they go?
Correct.
Who are they going to hang out with? Who are they going to meet?
I mean, yeah, they can't speak the language. They can't speak English also.
No, they're culturally completely mismatched. Yeah, what is that? You could send them where? Have you been to Switzerland? It's just open places with cows and rather large women.
They can
and
go there at least, no, in the open.
and pray to the cow. And then talk to the large woman.
No, but they might end up worshipping the cows there, which is also illegal probably in that country.
God forbid if they go to a place where the cow is being
Yeah, is
just.
India, the second largest beef exporter in the world. you know,
Wow,
right?
तू तो इतना देशभक्त है भाई. Your heart is beating for the nation.
but it's also a very expensive country compared to a lot
Of course, it's a
yeah,
ridiculous
very-
boss. There's no poverty in all, yaar.
Yeah.
There's like working class,
I mean-
which is different concept from us.
There is all the people working for Hinduja.
Those are not
There's-
working class. They don't exist.
They don't exist only.
I don't think that there's no tax payment there
No,
for
the
them. They
best
just live in
part is that
place.
they were on Shenzhen visa and that was getting renewed every few months.
Wow.
So they violated the working norms also.
Yeah. It would be very funny if the Prakash Hinduja doesn't get his visa renewed. They get it. Proud Swiss citizens. But by the way, at the time of this recording, they're in France. The 4 Hindujas in question,
Yeah.
they're in France in hospitals. Because there's immediately, for some reason,
Yeah.
hospital. The way he looked. You know what happens with our politicians and all, no? The moment the police come for you.
Immediate heart attack.
Oh,
nothing.
This is what the
right.
Hindi films didn't have in the 80s when I was
Right.
growing up. You immediately, we had Trishul, if you remember, Amitabh Bachchan Trishul, the ambulance follows everywhere. No?
Right.
You beat up the guy and then the ambulance comes to take you. This is a much better concept. The moment the ED or the phone call comes, and then straight away, now, 5-star hotel.
Wait, so all 4 are there.
All 4. Yeah, for various things. And 2 are next generation. No? There's Prakash and his wife, and
Yeah.
then there's Namrata and husband. All known names to the MBA sitting right here.
Just because there's Hindi doesn't mean I know
Must
that.
be some connection, yaar.
You must be on some WhatsApp group.
Of course.
nah.
Arms dealers.
I'm part of the poor Sindhi community who's into jobs. for
You're
some
in the
reason.
academic community. So
yeah.
they are as you can tell, the problem with them is that they're very more educated than the rich Sindhis.
Right.
So that complex is always there when you're the educated.
we are
Your
better.
Brahmins are similar to that sometimes. You sit around with a lot of education,
Right.
but don't make the kind of money somebody else has made.
Correct.
You hate them because they can't spell.
Yeah.
Fallacious.
So you find things to feel superior
Yeah,
about.
you have to. No? Yeah, they're so ugly. So what a lovely story. Beautiful. And I'm telling you, the Hindujas are one thing, but I'm telling you, if you do data on this, we must be 30% of Indian families who have done well will be having
So
this.
basically, slavery still exists. We are. I mean, here though it exists in some way.
It's the caste
intentionally,
system. No,
Not only that,
call it what it
I'm
is.
telling you, you're feeling that you're doing good for the person. Let's call them the Patel family who's there.
Right.
They're feeling that they're doing right by
Right.
these guys because they're taking them out of the Gao.
Right.
Go to first world country. Or dekho, billboard,
Yeah.
ye wo, and all that. I don't know. What? They're stuck somewhere in fucking Zurich looking out of the window. What do they see also? I don't know. I mean, except for the Alps. I mean, Switzerland's just one huge vastness.
Yeah,
Really.
because they believe that these people don't even deserve this much. That's how lowly you
But
think of.
without using the word Gora, for their community, they love this story. It exposes the hypocrisy and the evility of Indian society, which they're always waiting to expose,
Yeah.
So it gives them fodder for their
But it's
gossip.
true. No? There's no denying it.
But why are we denying anything? We should be proud of all our traditions.
No. No. I'll add you to a WhatsApp group with my
all
mom
you
and
guys
dad.
watching, you all keep menials. You pay them unbelievably low rates. My good friend Vijay Kunalkar didn't even know that he had to be paid money. He said they used to give them for the Sunday movie. They would be given money to go and watch, and they're getting free food in a home. And I said, no, that is the definition of slavery. You've given one Sunday movie which they don't want to watch. It's not a picture of choice. It's silsila. There's no action in that. They don't want to watch it, for example. So there are a lot of people in our country, without going to bloody Switzerland, where we don't care about the menials. We pay them whatever we pay them. Yeah. That's why I told my wife, get back in the kitchen. Please. I also share some.
Thanks, you added the please. Good.
My
Otherwise,
wife-
you would have gotten in trouble.
My wife, no. I say please from even if I'm in a different city. Yeah.
Oh,
Which brings me to a very interesting point
we
about.
upgraded, dude. What?
Yeah. This news upsets me a little. Boost for Indian students. Donald Trump promises US green card for foreign graduates.
But you know what he's thinking? He said,
Then vote.
No, I found out that Indians do really well and they go back and become billionaires in their country.
Uh-huh.
We'll keep the dollar here. So his point is, at last they figured Indians make money. Keep the Indians here and the money stays in America.
Yeah.
Of course, there'll
Yeah.
be some American guy working in your house for free for 40 years without, he'll be on no books, nothing. Where's O'Donnell? He's in the kitchen, tied, the country which gave us anti-slavery law and all that. Yeah. So,
But he
that's,
said automatic green card. That seems like a bit much.
That seems insane.
Yeah.
So many people are graduating.
bro, it depends on where the speech is made. If there's a densely populated Desi community at that point, or these guys are
Yeah,
smart. You think
but
Donald doesn't know his
it doesn't
demography?
Take anything to
He-
make a promise.
But he goes from being rabidly anti-immigrant to doing this.
No, that was all immigration, not targeting India. That was because the whole thing about America for Americans. Now he's become a little flexible. He's trying to explain commerce that you Americans are not making money, but some of these migrants are making money. So let's keep them in. And who-
This is
Yeah, it
not
has gone from keep the immigrants out to
Yeah.
let's have
but
them
he's only
inside.
mentioned Indians here.
Indians and
and Chinese.
Yeah, so the two communities who make the most money, those
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Well, has he mentioned Pakistan,
See,
for example?
This can't be for votes because the students aren't there yet, and they can't vote even if they're already there.
No, but he's telling the American public these guys are contributing.
But
So
even
it-
the Indian Chinese people who stay there.
Yeah.
They don't want more of
Actually,
us
yeah,
to come
you are
there.
right.
So
You are
They
right.
may not want
They'll
more
hate
of us.
Don't take our spots. That's what they are
Yeah.
thinking.
They may not want, but and rightly so. As an Indian, I can vouch for the fact the thinking is not unbiased. It's fine. But I'm just saying that it makes sense.
Also, Trump just riffs
problem-
like a.
He's like Bharat Thackeray. A lot of what he says makes sense. So that's the problem. When what he says makes sense, it's very difficult to see the nonsense in that also because the sense comes first.
Right.
So for now, Indians and Chinese contribute to the economy. Look at it. Then the context of racism and what comes after that. The first sentence makes sense. They make a lot of money. They're all successful. It's almost like over 90% success rate in these two communities
Yeah.
in America. I mean, if you're a failure, then the reason will be their wife who destroyed you or something. There'll be some reason.
Right.
Otherwise, the plan was perfect. You're an engineer. You've come from Telangana. You're rocking it. You're a PhD at 17. You've discovered some software which they can't pronounce. And all that. And suddenly your name has gone from Elatakali to Sam, and Sam is the head of Google. That's the story always.
So
What are
the
you doing?
article also says that earlier Trump had criticized the H1AB process.
That was in 2016.
And they quote him. He said that it was very, very bad in his very eloquent manner.
But that's what they like. The fact that he's not eloquent and
Yeah,
says simple
yeah.
things, and he says the word twice, like Maharashtrians. Good. He does that also. Very bad. He's like a Maharashtrian with a accent. But isn't that the appeal? These guys gotta have some appeal. The appeal is that you can he doesn't appear above you in that sense.
Right.
But he is an alpha male.
He's
but
like a man of the people.
he doesn't hide.
That's what he is.
No,
projecting.
he doesn't hide himself. Because all
Right.
the other politicians are perfect. They hide themselves.
Right.
That's why I bring the Bal Thackeray analogy not from a sense of humor thinking alone.
Huh.
The fact is that he's like a breath of fresh air. Okay, now I sound like I'm a Shiv Sena Bhakt. But it was when he started speaking.
Yeah.
Because nobody spoke like him.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
They all had
politically
these-
incorrect.
Yeah, politically incorrect and straight up. And they were like, wow, and interesting.
Right.
And then you got all the other guys who are perfectly, manicured speeches.
Yeah.
Saying all the right things. When you started Hum Sab Ek Hai, I mean, come on, don't fool me.
Right.
Don't start with that in this country. Hum Sab Ek Hai. There.
But I'm sure the South Indians felt otherwise back in the day also.
South Indians, Gujaratis, Muslims. He was on his way to attack the Bengalis, but things changed. Tata. I think we should take a break now. 31 minutes you all are talking. Is there a break in the show? Yeah. There's a break in the show.
There's a break in the show.
There's a break in the show. We'll come back with Donald versus Balasahib. Special.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by theatre and film actor Dileep Tahil. Dileep talks to Cyrus about cracking into Bollywood, his prolific career on screen, as well as his newfound fame on social media. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta sits down with Mahavir Chopra, an insurance industry veteran, to tackle the most pressing issues of insurance. Mahavir shares insights on the trust deficit between customers and insurers, the impact of mis-selling, and how AI is transforming insurance advice. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Omidyar Network India, IDFC First Bank and ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
You went to Colombia, no?
I went to Colombia.
Where did the turn happen to get into comedy?
I mean, I always wanted to do
No,
comedy
but as a
only.
full professional. I understand that that's your side thing you were doing.
I was doing comedy before also. So I did a few open mics before.
You got into
going to-
Colombia on the strength of your comedy?
And imagine he'll get a green card if Trump comes to power.
No, no, I'm not sure. Well, I suppose he makes Biden jokes here, but yeah, approved. Yeah.
Yeah, I always loved comedy, always loved screenwriting. So I was like, this is it, gotta do this.
But what did you study in Colombia? What?
I studied English literature, creative writing. So Trump actually, this is only for STEM students.
Now that makes
Not
sense.
only for the STEM students, but he's talking about English as his first thing, major. He would have done more after that. If he's an Indian, that would be a stepping stone to something else.
Right.
In the arts also.
MBA, of course.
Possible MBA, but he
I mean, there would be like a-
He could be an MPhil or something beyond that,
Yeah.
and then a head of a department in Stanford, as the Indian story.
Yeah.
Those who go into that side. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but academia didn't really interest me.
Why? Because you started doing drugs and all that.
No.
That is still okay. Shorts, not okay. So,
Shots and drugs, horrible
you
package.
can't teach Shakespeare if you come in boxers. It's just-
Yeah. They tried it. Hamlet didn't work. What was worse is Julius Caesar being stabbed. Watch my pants! The last words of 8 to Brute. Are dekho panchot! Sir,
By the way, are you going for the Ambani wedding? Are you invited?
they're marrying again?
Next.
The Radhika and
the-
Anand.
yeah.
See, I declined the invite. Yeah.
you shouldn't refer to them with the first name. It just appears like you know them. कि मेरे बाजू में रहता
They're
है
the biggest stars in India. On my YouTube, I'm sent pictures of Anand Ambani in Dubai as India's richest man shopping. And just before that, I read about the death toll in Gaza. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is YouTube. I mean, it's just, this is the reality of how we live.
Are they still getting married? There's still some process.
So
left.
let me be as an expert on the subject. They are not yet married. All this is pre-marriage. The actual marriage is still to come. So it's not over, folks. This is a whole series, like how they play best
Different
of 7 in
seasons,
NBA.
yeah.
This is a Western Conference going on still. Then the Eastern Conference, then the two will play, and then they play a final. This is a little long.
This is more than any king would have done ever.
By then what is there to celebrate?
But how much pressure it puts on the couple
I know,
to
going
make
forward,
this work.
when you have billions of albums or for the fun you had before wedding, and then 1 month after the wedding, it's not one nice picture.
And it's not like you're going to have some otherworldly sex afterwards to justify the cost.
You think they're only thinking about sex when they get married? I think it's much more. It's about saving the world.
Saving the
One
world.
party at a time. And what they've given us. And be proud as an Indian. What they've given us. And I can't, looking at, Aryabhatta, and you're looking at all the greats, that have come from our culture, Mahavir Jain, Gautam Buddha. There's so much greatness back in the day. Chandragupta Maurya, the empire that followed. And then they've given us Orry. And I think to myself, in that tradition of greatness, the Tirthankaras and all that, we've got this guy at the end. And you know that the philosophy king, what they talk about in Greece, the philosopher come king thingy, that's him. I see him and I say philosopher king when I see him immediately. Orry is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just very slappable, actually.
See, that's okay. I understand your anger because you're thinking MBA नहीं किया बेंचर फिर भी उसको इतना पैसा क्यों मिलता है?
And he's
But he charges 12
up-
lakhs to say hello to you or something.
Appeared out of nowhere, right? He just
I don't even know if you can biologically say he came from humanity because it's a little, let's say,
a
different.
little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it turns out to be like Epstein at the end.
I thought his name was sorry, and like in French you don't say
S is capital.
S is quiet, so it became Orry. And then
But
it turned
he-
he's a Sindhi guy, yaar.
He's Sindhi.
Avitramani. He's a bloody Avitramani from South Bombay. Then somebody said I was in class with him, and I said, oh, he's one of us. He's one of us. Orry sold out. What is Hindi so bad, Benchot? You have to come to my side to kill your Hindi. The moment you cross Worli, your Hindi starts getting worse.
No, I think the Hindi has to be bad, otherwise you can't be in high society.
Yeah, you dumb down. Like I keep saying, all my Delhi friends who come here, their Hindi starts getting worse just to survive Bombay. Like Saukar suddenly starts saying Apun and all that. I'm like, Saukar, what happened to you? Yaar, Cyrus, abhi kya bolu? Apun ka ek problem hai. So Hindi just gone. Sad, man.
The Ambanis are getting Drake, by the way, next week.
Yeah. Drake, the musician. They also had Andrea Bocelli, but he was facing the wrong way.
Actually.
You know he can't see. Just thought it was a good joke for the time, but I have to mention it after make me do a Vijayakar. Okay, now understand what I'm saying. Yeah. But so they had Bocelli and the neighbors complained. It was tenor singing opera and all that, and the neighbors complained because it was past 10 p.m. These are my kind of neighbors. I don't care if you're the best tenor in the world. I don't care how much money is being spent. Shut the fuck up. You know. Dandiya nights didn't work for me because 10:15 they continued till 10. I was okay. Have you done Dandiya? You grew up in Kandivali, you haven't done Dandiya?
Nahi. I somehow managed to escape.
What would you when your friends said let's go Dandiya? What would you say?
The outfits are too gay. I can't do it.
This is the wrong thing to say. This is not politically correct. It's one thing to keep your menials inside the mansion.
I can't have
in
mirrors
Switzerland.
for my garments. It just looks too much.
And the funny part is the more money you have, the worse the garments are. It's almost like, let me ridicule myself more.
Because I think it's a problem. You have so much money. Where do you spend it?
Yeah.
Somewhere you have to.
Ek aur tassel.
Also, I think it's kind of dangerous, no? Because now they up the ante every year. So if you see some of the moves, no, it's almost like taekwondo and shit. So they're jumping through the air. And
That's a thing, because also the problem is that the basic movements are okay. You can do it without too much practice.
Yeah.
The fancy guys who turn their back and
Yeah.
pirouette and all that, then you feel so psyched
it's
out.
like,
When I was young,
nunchucks almost.
yeah, when I was young, suddenly you thought you're okay, and then there's one joker uncle, Kalpesh bhai comes, and Kalpesh bhai goes,
And you
hey,
feel
Gabesh! I'm like,
energy kahan se aa raha
I
hai?
know.
Siff khakra kha
And
ke.
coordination. Unreal coordination. But I've seen Falguni Pathak live, because we
Yeah.
used to cover it for an empty 1 year. We covered her shows. Preeti Pinky, who
Right.
became legends.
Yeah.
How was
And they were very-
Falguni live? Amazing.
She's very good on stage, very powerful, but very shy off stage.
Oh.
Yeah. So very different personality.
Right.
A bit like some of your comedians who are introverted but very good on stage.
Mm.
There are two types. Are you
Yeah.
introverted? You're not introverted. No. You're not introverted. You're, in fact, you should tone down now. Too much. How's Meghnad doing?
Meghnad is good.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Just check every 5 minutes.
I keep checking. I keep checking.
Huh.
But his streams are going well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's been able to make his presence felt a little bit.
Yes.
Finally, because I think he wanted to voice a little bit where Puneet goes. Puneet is more infrastructure and everything else, so Puneet doesn't go only politics.
Right.
But his is clearly like he's got one beast.
He
that he's trying to
likes
catch.
politics,
Yeah.
the bare basics of politics.
Yeah.
So now he's like salivating ki parliament
Yeah.
mein bhi hoga debate.
My only
Right.
worry is there's an obsession that comes with that, and not to ever criticize people because always have a dog in the fight. That's fine. But what you get obsessed with only one thing in your thought, then. And it just stays with that. It'll bring the bear down. That's it.
Yeah,
And after this is what happened with Trump in the first run in America. Everyone is just going after him. After some time, it becomes like ridiculous. All the comedy is going the same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. My parents exactly talk like this. They're like, why are you only talking about one thing? Why are you only talking about one guy down?
No, so it looks like an obsession, right?
I mean, the thing is, they are in power. So that has to be
You
the...
have to.
In
You have
our
to, but-
case,
but
too, you don't have a
he's-
choice because that guy himself plasters his face everywhere you
No,
go.
no, but,
So-
are you talking about Meghna or you talking? Atal Setu, the first week, it was very funny because my wife and I weren't sure. We were on it. We were hoping we were going in the right direction. So, couldn't make out anything. Atal's name was at the beginning of the bridge. It was Atal Setu if you really strain. I mean, it's like, just there small. Then there were balloons on either side, which traveled with us while we were driving. The balloons going in the air. Bigger and bigger balloons of a certain gentleman.
Yeah.
And on both sides, I said, what happened to Atal Bihari Vajpayee? There's no trace of him here. He's just wiped out. They give him the beginning, there's a small, if you really, Atal, say, tu, and then that's it. And then it's just one man after that, all the way down.
It's like the Gandhi Jayanti ads, no, where there's no Gandhi anywhere except the name, and he's standing in it.
Yeah. I mean, he'd have to pay toll. It would be like that.
What do you think caused the crack in Atal Setu?
See, that is my least of my problems. I'm expecting bad workmanship. Having, built a house and all, I know what this is all about. I'm expecting a few, cars to go through.
Yeah.
Gokule Bridge is still not complete. I mean, you still can't find that 1 foot that's missing. So what's the big deal here? But hello, the monsoon's not hit us really.
Right.
It's still
so
to
we don't
come.
even know yet.
Yeah. That May, August, big, Marathi, big.
Thank you.
Monsoon, that will, come. Then we'll see. So much.
Why is that a Marathi thing, saying big?
I don't always
Good,
notice.
good.
I don't know, but maybe And they speak very good English. The ones who say that also speak perfect English, but they still have this double adjective.
Yeah.
You notice, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because English is too dry, you know, like in Marathi you have heavy words, so you don't feel satiated.
Oh, yeah. They have to make English better, so double it. So what are they angry? Say choot choot. That's two different things.
This is what I said in my English literature classes also. That's why they were like, you go back. You fucking go back.
No, Marathi will now teach English how to be as a language. See, I abuse kutraicha pillu. What is yours, motherfucker?
The way you said it sounds like Russian. It doesn't sound like Marathi.
Language should be open to everyone. You should not be monopolizing it because it's your language.
Correct.
Share
True.
it.
True.
Share the
It's
bloody
yours.
language. Like the others say, though. It's for everyone.
Except Atal.
You think opposition has to pay more? That'll be really funny, no? Rahul Gandhi's on the thing. And they're like, sorry, sir, 200 rupees. 200 rupees. See the list? Dhruv Rathee, 300 rupees. Meghnad, 400 rupees.
I'm surprised they didn't go after Dhruv Rathee in a bigger way. They must have tried, I guess.
So you saw that Telugu speech. It's translated into English since we don't speak Telugu.
Yeah.
You saw that, no?
Yeah.
Now, if it's correct, because I don't know how correct these are, but it's unbelievable. The guy, the member of parliament, is actually telling his cadre, he's telling them that he's correct. Dhruv Rathee is correct in all his observations. We can't get him on that.
Yeah.
So we have to find some lies.
Create fake
Make up
news.
some lies.
Yeah.
For me, why are we comedians? you cannot, Shreyas, you can't go back and finish your
And
degree.
he goes ahead to give an example.
Yeah.
That like a fake news, for example, that BJP has appointed Mia Khalifa as,
Yeah.
as a minister, something like that.
Star, porn star.
Yeah.
So he gave that example and everything, and they're all lapping it up. And they're thinking, this is a strategy team that to get Dhruv Rathee down, you have to create some nonsense pornographic scandal or something and bring him down because he's correct. He's not gone. So he comes on and he's looking at the video and he's sharing it and he's saying, you know, guys, they've admitted, yeah, that I've gone by the book.
How would both of you bring down Dhruv Rathee if you were in that room? You had to come up with a strategy.
Bro, I would never want to bring down Dhruv Rathee.
But you have to.
The fact that he's so courageous and can do these kind of things. If I had to, then I'd
Actually, I think you have brought him down. By giving him your support,
Yeah,
I think he will be
I
down.
destroyed him fully. Also, I think we've had him on the show.
What?
From Germany. Yeah. He didn't know I was nobody. We just told him he's very big. Next thing you know.
So there is one video compilation of just Dhruv Rathee saying Namaskar Dosto 37 times.
Wow.
Namaskar Dosto, Namaskar Dosto. I think that video can bring him down
Yeah.
if it goes viral.
Also, if the government changes and he's brought into Rajya Sabha, he's perfect. He's ready.
Yeah.
But that's all he has to do after that. Nothing
but
more.
he's not a citizen, so
That can be. By the way, Rahul is supposed to be a British passport holder. Gandhi.
nah.
Yeah. That's the story. Subramaniam Swamy goes on record to say that.
That she's been saying for 20 years, but how is he standing
We
for
don't have dual
elections?
passport. I don't know. People have connections, Baba. Like the Hindujas, they have people working for them with no passports. And they're in European countries.
But I feel if he actually had British citizenship, BJP would have brought that up. You know,
They've tried. They've mentioned
Oh,
it.
they've tried it.
But
Didn't-
they've denied it, and I don't know where it ends.
How
Because he does
difficult it is to
travel.
prove or
He
not
must be
prove
having an
it.
Indian passport for sure. But can he have two passports and nobody know about it? Because there's no dual thing with England.
You're right.
There was till 47. Then it changed.
There's also one more news about Kejriwal, but
Say.
it got reversed
Yeah,
soon after we
the
made
High
the
Court,
document. Yeah.
That again, this we used to do a show called Bakra. For me, these are the worst ones. When Mr. Kejriwal hears that he's got bail from a lower court, and then the Delhi High Court reverses, so he's on his way out. He's packing his bag. He's now found his diabetes pills. Oh, hey, what tha? I did not see it. Puts it in, and then he's about to leave, and he's saying, "Bye, Prakash. Bye, Raju. Bye, Shamlal." And he's out, and then he says, "Sorry, sir." Reversed by Delhi High Court. Back in.
What was the reasoning for the reversal?
Appellate system. Reasoning asked the lawyer.
So the Delhi High Court didn't even have the order in their hand. Order was not even
So that's
put
called
out yet.
procedural reason.
Yeah.
Procedural reason is the best reason to do anything.
Right. You can do
Technicality.
anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, ideally they couldn't have reversed because the order was not published yet.
Right.
And yet they did it just on hearsay, which is very
so
telling.
they acted, it's like premature ejaculation. They
Yeah.
came before they should have kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
If you were to use a bad metaphor.
Yeah, and then they just heard both the argument and they said we reserve our order. तो गया वापिस एक हफ्ता अंदर.
Wow. Amazing.
It's like that movie Monkey Man. No, they don't want it to be released, so they're not even screening it for the censors.
But you know,
The movie's okay only. I don't know why they are.
but it's a really bad joke here. I mean, this is now you really feel like the Aam Aadmi. In a sense. I mean, he's playing with you, man. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. But
This NEET scam,
NEET
40 lakh rupees.
I didn't even get to that as a bigger news. story, but Malia का भी कोई शादी हो रहा है क्या? कितना शादी हो रहा है?
Malia ka, the beauty of that story is that Siddhartha, and you pronounce the A, is marrying Jasmine, who apparently is some big star in Kansas. And they got married in London. And Vijay Malia is broke. But in his 14 million pound mansion, they had a huge spectacle and all that.
So, but he's still broke.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they don't have Drake, so
Not yet.
not yet.
But they'll have somebody. There'll be, somebody hanging. Shankar Ehsan Roy might be, touring. And be like, guys, come for a free dinner.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get
And
something.
he's living in the basement.
He's not broke. I don't think there'll be offshore accounts. There'll be money somewhere.
Yeah.
He's
Can't be
broke in his Indian avatar.
Right.
Right. But everybody
Or
has...
the company is bankrupt. The rich
Company's
people-
bankrupt. His personal wealth, I don't know. It was, in India, it's attached. Because they attach the bungalows and all that. Goa,
Yeah.
Niladri.
But I'm
all
sure
that.
he's sorted. He must have seen this.
Well, look, how do you live in England?
Yeah.
Trust me, bro, it's a very expensive country. Unless you're a footballer.
Wait, is he working at the Hindujas? Is that why?
No, he wants to retain his passport.
Okay, he wants
His British passport. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's not EU. So,
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I'm making fun of these poor guys just because we weren't invited to any of these upscale weddings.
But was this mullet he keeps? Dude, just such a bad boy
Bro, he's
vibe.
cool. What else you got, man? You're going through hard times. Why do you look bad? Shan se, as we say in Hindi. Shan se. Whatever. Going down, go down. Yeah.
So that brings us to the biggest and the last story of the NEET scam.
Yeah. Just the acronym is wrong, but no, it just sounds anything but education. NEET.
NEET.
What the hell is NEET? Yeah.
They need to add some mixers to it because they clearly can't.
It sounds like one Punjabi friend of mine who I grew up with or something. Shortened version of his name. NEET. NEET. NEET.
So 40 lakhs
And counting.
was what was given to have access to papers one day before the test, and they memorize all the questions. But then this happened. I found out about one more scam which is way better. Fuck the test. There's one more scam in which you can pay this one guy. This guy in Gujarat paid 16 lakhs to just get the degree.
Without appearing.
Directly, yeah.
Directly.
So the RTO is doing something like with license, no? You just go to the school now, register, and the school will give the license for driving. So
I
no
think-
longer the RTO which we used to go to. I don't know if you did.
Yeah. That's
we had
a
to go
cleaner
to a
way.
test.
That's a cleaner way.
What's the cleaner way?
I mean, if you are bribing, if you are spending money anyway, just
That's
get
one
the
way.
degree.
That's one way of thinking of it. But at the end of the day, that means they are responsible for your driving license. Now they're a commercial activity, so they will make sure you get the driving license because they don't want bad word. Police is going to tell his friend, and police friend is going to tell his friend.
Right.
So you want everyone to get the driving license, right? Because it's commerce.
Do you have a number for this?
I'm telling you, the number of non-drivers who will be driving by 2025 is going to be fantastic. And now not only do you have to shoot all the bikers, you have to shoot all the drivers also. now.
It already feels like that anyway.
Really.
So-
Yeah.
but if they give you a receipt, it's not a scam, no?
That's fair. My dad used to say that. When I went to jail also and I came out, he said, where's the bail receipt for $900? I'll never forget that. He was really angry. He never asked me about what we did. He never asked me about the morality, the ethics. That was just, his only thing is, we have to file tax. You have to get the bail. Now go back to jail and ask for the bail because they didn't take a purchase. They've eaten up $900. $900 bail, huh, bro?
Wow.
$900 back in the 90s.
That's a lot.
It must be more now. We'll have to check with Rishi and Sparsh.
But have you guys cheated in exams?
Nah. I was the topper of the class.
Wow. So people cheated off you.
You say that without arrogance. It's so sad. Normally you say with arrogance. He's almost like so sad about it because, it took me nowhere. That was the best.
Especially in stand-up. You have to be the backbencher.
Your statistics are always good, but what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, that never works. I studied in my school. That is never going to go
And
well.
how do you sell that as a comedian?
Yeah.
Most comedians are failures. That's why he turned to comedy. And you have this one guy who was the apex of the pyramid and an MBA with a corporate job and a big 6-figure salary, turns his back on all that. And next thing you know, he's playing for 40 people who 20 are not listening.
Yeah, that happens. People check their phones now in the middle of the show.
Bro, so you can't blame your parents. You did everything correct in the first half of your career. This is all on you now. Yeah. You were fantastic. We have to wind up now.
There's one more news, right?
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
What?
About these goats that have been rescued.
Oh man, that's great.
By
During Eid.
the by the
but
Jain
now time has
community.
passed by the time they watch this. Yeah.
Oh, time has passed.
But it's a
No,
fair-
but I've heard
they
they're
dressed
doing.
up.
I've heard they're doing something else as well. That they're dressing up as right-wing Hindutva people and rescuing Muslims who will be beaten and killed because.
It's a complicated gag. Well set up. Call your mom and dad right now and ask for reactions.
The best tweet I read was that Muslims dress as Jains to stay alive. So,
that's better.
Yeah.
That's less complicated.
Man of the match. Man of the match. Well done. You earned your money today, bro.
Hey, you got the old note, dude. Oh man.
Yeah, demonetization.
See,
We
old money from Nagpur, dude.
Nagpur was the first city to know about demonetization. Yeah? And then this guy turned his back on the government. Unbelievable.
But how are your folks feeling about the RSS being left out this time?
But and there's definitely some sort of acrimony
Yeah.
between top two and the RSS. Because Mr. Bhagwat has been very, he's not holding back now in his criticism.
But very conveniently waited for the elections to get over. Now he's saying...
Fair, but the fact that they would
He
never
stays
talk like that, it was
yeah.
always like one team. Now
But there's a lot of
chat
chatter around like Fadnavis and Gadkari coming up ahead, discussions happening about
also
that.
maybe pegged down a little bit in the last 5 years. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Their profile definitely came down.
Right.
Devendra is a vice
But that
deputy
was-
chief minister to a man who started his own Shiv Sena and stole the father.
Yeah, yeah.
That just makes no sense to me how that can happen. Yeah.
But I feel that came from whatever I understand, that came from Modi, because he doesn't want any second-run leaders
you're
to be
right.
high profile.
And all famous leaders in the past also have done this. Not allowed growth of anybody who's got credibility, because then you have a challenge.
Right.
So you're not to mention like the finance minister or whatever, but you suddenly question maybe was that the right, but then there are reasons.
Yeah.
It's
Is
good
that why you
leadership.
never let Sparsh grow in this company?
No, Sparsh was a medical issue. yeah.
Biological issue.
Yeah. Sparsh also the women complained, and this is not Delhi. The police take the complaint down. So what do we do after that? No?
But he's still been on Spotify, or they...
No,
cancelled
he's
it?
now working with Vijay Kunalkar on arguably the most wonderful show called Khane Mein Kya Hai. Which if you're a fast talker, it's a little difficult to do that show.
खाने में क्या है?
Let's all try, Kunal.
Yeah.
तो आज हमारे पास एक ऐसा व्यक्ति आ गया है जिसका नाम है पुनीत पानिया. पुनीत जी बताइए आज क्या प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है?
And he's doing Hindi now.
No, it's not Hindi. It's some other language. It starts off as Hindi, then he picks up 3 big words for the day, and he tries to put them in, and then whatever happens. But it's a cult thing.
Yeah.
His Hindi thing now, everybody wants to do that.
So he can never lose weight now, even if the doctor tells him to. Could be bad for business.
No, how can you got a restaurant here? How do you have cooks and all who are thin? It's a horrible sight. I mean, like, why would you go to a restaurant? You want a fat cook. You want a guy who looks like he eats the food. Why would I go there? Right?
But that's the old Hindi adage, no? Like, halwai khud ka mithai nahi khata hai.
खुद का अच्छा वो ठीक है, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you eating or not?
The same way politicians' kids go abroad to study.
You're waiting to do this. I'm sorry, I didn't read the ball here. You're setting the batsman up.
It was the other one.
Sorry. Wrong one.
The best part is Dowal's son has applied for US
Citizenship?
Yeah.
Dowal, Raw, the head of the...
But that's only because he wants to become a spy there.
Double agent. But you think you're
Wow.
giving out your hand, no?
By
All of us
revealing
know.
this. Yeah, now we all know. Now we all know.
I mean, what is this? What is the CBI and FBI and all?
I
do?
think it's a triple game they are playing.
Yeah.
Where now we think he's a spy, so he's not going to be
So
one.
we're not sure which side he's on.
For the Soviet.
Well, Soviet is over in 89-90.
That's what you think.
Oh, right.
Coming back.
He's trying to bring the powers back.
But you really think we have spies like it's a born identity level spies?
You think?
Who are being caught now in Canada news?
100%. What happened to the killing in Canada? What is that all about?
What killing?
That so-called Khalistani guy who
Khalistani.
was killed, and this Gupta guy has been brought in Czech Republic. He was found and brought in.
Yeah.
Third-party maneuvers and all. That's all done through a spy network. And then you give supari, khilawe to other people, whatever. I'm thinking, that's a good job for us.
Would you guys be good spies?
I'd be the best. Except for one problem. I'd be good in the 80s. So I can't handle technology. So we have James Bond who can't start the car, Go battery ka bench. And then the villains reached. Yeah, that's the only problem. But 80s would have been fantastic.
80s would have been good.
Yeah.
I think the best story would be the spy just goes down and settles down because he gets a 7-Eleven outlet.
Yeah.
He says, fuck this shit.
Indian guy goes to Canada or something, he's not spying, he's just staying back. but the other thing is, if you think about it honestly, the women they show you in the James Bonds and all these, James Hardy Chase and all, and then you really think the spy network is all these, what if they're really ugly chicks?
I feel they can't be that attractive because then you stand out. You have to appear very normal.
Yeah, and in fact, if you're unattractive, people don't want to look at you too much.
Correct.
So you can escape the radar.
Correct. So you can do it.
I can do it as a woman.
And they all wafer thin, these women, but somehow they know taekwondo and they can
You're
fucking
talking
break
about
doors
the,
and shit.
in fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes no
Your
sense.
anti-woman rant has now started slowly. I'm getting a little worried. Ours is only a little humor.
I'm
You
saying
seem to
it's-
have your boss. तेरा कुछ है. मेरे को नहीं करने का.
I'm saying it's
me and
physically
Jains just make
impossible.
fun.
It's physically impossible. How can that Almas lady break a fucking chair with a hand?
You're
like that?
watching a $400 billion Hollywood film on James Bond, and what you get out of it is the chick is too thin. It makes no fucking sense.
Women are weak. They can't do this.
What a sexist, what a chauvinist, and we got nothing else out of it. Even like the cars. What do you use of it? Girl is too thin.
Wow. Of all the people, you two going, you go, girl. This is unexpected.
Hey, you bring out the Oprah and me, right, baby? You go, sister.
Oh, man.
Okay, we will wrap it up. You're talking too long.
This show has really gone downhill, I think.
Wait, already, I don't think you can be lower than the low.
It was underground already.
And in Mumbai, I don't mention gutters. No, but plug it. We never know.
You never know.
Plug
Okay, okay. Just Mumbai, Bangalore, and Pune. That's all I got.
But
And-
give me dates, na.
I don't know when the show is going on.
Are you a mental issue here? You're just throwing cities. Are we losing our minds?
No,
If people are interested, they'll look it up. They'll go
people
to his
know that
But we
profile.
give some date now, boss, but you don't know when this is on.
It's all in July. So
All in July. So, like, there's also the Euro going on in July and Olympics.
I
will
also
start.
wanted to promote a few things. I don't have cities, I have times.
run out
8
of
p.m., 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. So
Superb.
see you guys.
Yeah,
See you
yeah.
guys.